we can do the hard things first and get a better benefit, even though we have to be disciplined.
What sparked you wanting to have this conversation today on the show?
Oh, specifically, it's a couple of things together. One, we are going to be celebrating a major life event as parents. We're going to be transitioning to grandparents. So I've been having a number of conversations with my son around the transition from being seen, unchilded person to having children. And of course, being a college professor, I have the privilege of working with students, and there's a common theme I see to their struggles. We're constantly trying to reconcile how to achieve and be comfortable at the same time. And the majority of the time, that strive to be comfortable derails progress.
Real talk. When I had Tamazier when I was 17 years old. And so for me, all the decisions that I made once I brought him into the life, and even before that, was based around how can I make a better life for him? And I had to forego what I wanted, and life was definitely not comfortable. And so I definitely, feel like we are in this space where there are a lot of lessons to be learned around discomfort. Everybody want to be comfortable. So can you blame people for wanting to be comfortable?
No, it's the most natural thing in the world. We all should, just strive to be comfortable, but comfort is a state. It's not a state of being. So while you can have periods of your life and periods of time where you're going to be comfortable, that should always be preceded by, times of growth, because the growth process in itself is always uncomfortable, because you're stretching from being in one state into a brand new unknown state. And that transition in its nature is going to be uncomfortable. In general, people are cost benefit analyzers. So we all have a floor of comfort, whether that's conscious or unconscious. And anything beyond that floor gets put into our calculator. Is it worth the effort to move beyond this floor? And we may have many goals and desires that require us to get past that floor. But emotionally, like I said, whether conscious or unconscious, can we break through the calculation of value to push past comfort to take that next step?
I used to ask myself, is there an easier way to get this done? And 99.9% of the time, there was never an easier way, but I wanted there to be.
Yes, that's the setup. And I always will tell you, it's a fair question. But while you're asking or examining, is there an easier way, where we get tripped up is we're not simultaneously doing it the hard way. I convinced myself that, hey, it's not worth it, where I got this other path that I enjoy, that is a quote unquote passion that I can do easily, but not recognizing that the easy things don't bring you the same value as the hard things.
We all tend to lean toward what's easy. Even in my case, I can remember in undergrad, I started off as a business major. And I mean, because I always knew that I wanted to be in business, an entrepreneur, or some realm in business. And I did that accounting, and accounting 1 was like, okay. And then I bumped up to accounting 2, and I failed. I literally failed. No bueno. I was like, this ain't it. This is not it. And I literally changed my major to child development and family studies. Now, I will say hindsight, I've been able to put both of those things together and ultimately get a PhD in business psychology. But how many years did that take me? I mean, a lot of times I was skirting around doing what's hard because I wanted to do what was easier and just get by.
I did a Bible study on Samson, and just looking at his story. For those who don't know, Samson was an Old Testament story from Judges, where he was born. God gave a prophecy over his life that he would bring him great glory, but he had to follow these rules and be disciplined. He couldn't eat certain things. He couldn't cut his hair. There were a number of provisions he had. he chose to break all of those, and ultimately he suffered and died. But during his death, he managed to kill all of the Philistines and bring God glory. So God's will was still done. But if he was disciplined, his quality of life would have been a whole lot better. So just a short thing, like we can do the hard things first and get a better benefit, even though we have to be disciplined. But we can buck that. We'll end up getting to where we want. Like my life has turned out fine, but it could have been optimized a lot better if I would have was more disciplined earlier.
Very true. I think a lot of times, especially in today's day and age, we can, you like you just said, we can be told what not to do, but where are the solutions at? Like, give me a solution to the problem.
And I think a big thing is us being brave enough to look for real help. Like I had tons of resources.
Yeah.
But I let that discomfort steer me in a direction of not looking for support to get through the discomfort, but finding an alternate path and just avoiding it completely. Like I was saying earlier, it wasn't the discomfort of engineering per se. It was the uncomfortability of I wasn't who I thought I was. And that was the thing. It's like, and that's where I get to self-limiting beliefs and doubts and insecurities. Like it didn't go from, okay, I just didn't do good on the test, but this isn't at all what it used to be like. I should be able to do this easily. Am I even capable of this? Can I really do it?